Vibe series. My name is Prashant. I'm working as a MuleSoft architect. So in our previous session, we have seen how to create the Postman collection. And in this session, we are going to test this API locally. Okay. And for that, I'm just going to use the dev agent. And instead of executing the Maven commands manually in this terminal or using the plugins which are available in the VS Code, right? Instead of these two options, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask dev agent with just a plain simple natural language, and let's see how, if that is if that is something which help us to deploy this API in our local. Okay, so I'm just going to tell him that please deploy this API in local. Okay, just a simple thing. Let's see what all things he will execute in the backend, what all commands he will execute. All right, so I'll help you deploy this API locally. Let me analyze. So he's just reading out the project again, and he's just questioning himself, not questioning, but telling himself that to deploy this API locally, I need to first examine the project structure, check the POM file for dependencies, look at the main file, use the run local mule application tool to deploy it locally. So he's just reading all the files. The POM file is something he has completed. The main file he has done. Artifact JSON file is done. SRC, he's just reading all the files under SRC folder. The global file is something he's just now completed. The property file as well, he is currently reading. Okay, looks like he has everything now. So he's just executing one tool from the MuleSoft MCP server, and this is the name of that tool, run local mule application, which accept these arguments. Okay, the project path and the Java POM. So I'll just tap true, and looks like there is some error. Path does not exist. Okay, looks like he's taking some other part of this API, but that is situated in some other location. So currently this is the correct one, correct path, right? I'll just tap to it, and he's also going to execute the same commands, same Maven commands in the backend. I'll just wait for his response. All right, looks like we have one window open now. Okay, and the response was success for the this particular execution of this tool, right? And okay, looks like, let's see. Okay, it failed. Good. These are the error. So deployment property trying to process key. Okay, looks like there are something which is getting referred, but we don't have a value for that, looks like. So let's see his response for this error, right? So he's just trying to analyze the error. So the connection is being diffused, which might mean the application is still starting up. Let me check if the process is running and give it a moment to fully initialize it, right? So he's just checking with few commands if the application is up and running or we have some errors in between. Okay, so let me try to test this API endpoint again. He's testing it using the invoke web request command, right? But he is not going to get a response because it's failed. Let me check the runtime logs. Now it is checking, he's checking the runtime logs. Cool. Okay, now looks like he found the issue. I can see the issue. The application deployment is failing because there is a property reference issue. The mule configuration is trying to access this particular property, but the property file uses a standard this particular file, right? Okay, looks like there is a dollar and p at the same thing. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, looks like he has corrected the things, right? I'll just approve it. Let's see if this time it is deployed or not. Okay, so this is that change which he did, right? Okay, now if you want to see the what is the change with this particular command, right, you can just go to the compare section and just click the compare, and you'll get to know what is being changed. And this is something which is changed on the left hand side in the right red color. We will see that is something which was already previously available, but that is being deleted now. So if you see, right, this is something which is being deleted, and now this is something which is being added. So in short, this P that is being now removed. Okay. Okay, looks like good. The API is responding. I can see it's returning this, which suggests it accessible. Okay. All right, looks like it is completed now. Let me verify that. Cool. Looks like it is deployed now. See, okay. And he has executed that as well, right? He has tested this API as well from his end. Okay, if you see, right, this is something which he has executed using the invoke web request. This was the endpoint which he has executed, right? And he got a response for that endpoint as well. Okay, so let's test it out from our Postman endpoint as well. So this is what our endpoint is, and slash movies. What is the value of that? That's correct. Okay, and we have an endpoint. Post is the endpoint. This is particular the body. I'll send it. Cool. So I'm just getting a response now. So looks like the API is now deployed using the dev agent, and we have we have already created the Postman collection, and we have tested as well. Using the same created Postman collection as well. Okay. Now, in next session, we are going to see how we can deploy this to the runtime, maybe a Cloud Hub 2.0 or maybe to a runtime RTF, right? And we are going to deploy that using the MuleSoft Dev Agent, and then after that, we are going to test it from the server. All right, thank you.